Hey everybody, welcome to Dynamic Disc coverage of the 2019 Piney Woods Open. We are on the Dogwood Gold course. On the mic today, you've got myself, Robert McCall, along with 2010 world champ, Eric McCabe.
What's up, everybody?
Sweep the leg commentary coming at you hot.
That's right.
We got Mason Ford, he's from Harlingen, Texas, in the lead right now. Cam Colglazier, one of the highest rated players here, probably the highest rated player.
Probably, absolutely.
Mobile, Alabama. Fredy Meza is out of Conroe, Texas, which is near Houston, and then Bradley Williams shooting a pretty hot 54.
I saw that score
second
come in.
round.
Amazing.
Pretty good. He's from Austin, Texas.
So Dogwood is very, 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 very challenging course. Hole number one is kind of an eye-opener, real start for you. Huge downhill shot. Most players are landing kind of in this area and then have this tricky upshot down to where Danny's standing right there.
First up on the box, representing Millennium Disc Golf 2018 Rookie of the Year, Mason Ford.
Congrats to Mason on the Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah, a lot of these drone flyovers, you'll see that the basket isn't in place because they played a short placement the round before this.
Correct.
So he's taking Scorpius off the tee and just mashing it over the trees. Probably in a scramble position.
Probably
there.
scrambling, yeah.
The defending Piney Woods Open champion, representing Prodigy Discs. Put your hands together for Cameron Colglazier.
Cam is no stranger to Piney Woods. As Draper just mentioned, he actually is a returning champion of this tournament.
Yep, won in a playoff last year over Matt Oram.
Correct.
He's going D3 off the box here. And a little bit low. He's going to have definitely some scramble over there. Lots of little skinny trees.
Give it up for Fredy, Meza.
And I think that's the story of this hole. You just
Yes.
want to have a decent shot off the tee. You're going to be scrambling more than likely off the your second shot here.
Yeah, the only places that you aren't scrambling is if you get way left, kind of like Freddie's looking for here. He might kick down to an opening there and have a decent look. Otherwise, yeah.
At the final round of the 2019 Piney Woods Open, representing Innova Champion Discs, your 2008 MEA1 Capital of Texas Open champion. Give it up for Bradley Williams.
Congratulations on that huge win, Bradley Williams.
Big dub for Bradley Williams there. No,
I've battled Bradley at this course many times.
Yeah, in a not a playoff, but in the it was a playoff.
I did
final
lose
nine.
in a playoff 1 year.
Yep, I was in that final nine as
Yes,
well.
you were. Yep.
Not competing for the win at that point, but you know.
That looks like a good placement shot down in the sand. He's going to have a little work left. This approach is more difficult than it looks. It is pretty good downhill.
Yes.
And there's quite a bit of sand to help catch the disc, but it's easy to just fly by the basket.
Yeah, really touchy approach here. That's a good-looking forehand for Bradley. Cam's pretty much in the garden. This is where you want to land. And look at that touch. Oh, a little bit hot.
Coming in hot.
Mason put together 2 incredible rounds before this.
A little jumper off hole one is never a bad
you're
thing.
always pleased with that. Hard to get really aggressive, like you said, with that steep downhill. Yeah, Cam with a smooth putting stroke. He's up and in for birdie.
Cam is such a solid player. He's, he always comes out to Worlds, it seems, and just performs.
Yep.
Every single year, but he's not fully on tour because he has a kid.
Yeah.
He has a young kid, and so yeah, we don't get to see him as much as I'd like.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, like you said, though, can just show up.
Yep. And does. So hole 2 is 300 feet. It is a tricky hole. This is kind of where the drone is flying the dead straight line. Majority of the players, myself included, throw the forehand kind of over the creek and hope to get a skip over to the right side just to give yourself a look for the birdie here.
And Mason looks like he's taking backhand here.
Taking the aggressive line right at it.
Yeah, this is a coyote, and that is pure.
That is so pure.
All right, so you're sitting at home and you've never played this course, and you're like, it's a gap. It's right there. It's not.
It's
like
not.
It really doesn't look like it in person.
Nope. Like that right there. That as soon as you hit a tree, there's probably 50% chance you're going OB.
Yeah, if
there's
not,
a creek that kind of snakes through here that's out of bounds.
Exactly. Yeah, if not more than 50.
Yep.
Beautifully thrown by Bradley.
I'll give him a look for his birdie.
Yeah, taking that little Anheuser, I like that shot. That's Roadrunner, actually, for Bradley off the tee there.
Solid.
Real touchy.
So here's the forehand line I was speaking of.
That looks to be Firebird for Meza.
Great shot.
Yeah, so Cam's definitely still got some work to do here, but since he is a little bit farther up the fairway, he's got more of an open shot.
Right, and it looked like he did drop inbounds
Yes,
on that shot.
that's right. So this is Williams for birdie. Oh,
I never count Bradley
banger
out.
aim.
Ever. Never count this man out.
He does that all. We used to play together in Austin a lot.
Yeah,
and I'd
absolutely.
be in prime position, looking at birdie.
Looking to get a stroke.
Yeah, and then
And then you lose one.
Yeah, and then he rings up this stupid 65-footer low ceiling.
Yep.
It's
Brad's great. I love playing with Bradley.
absolutely. Freddie's
Great
in for
birdie.
birdie.
It's Cam's probably fortunate enough not to lose a stroke there. Mason had a challenging putt
Yes.
from the left side of the fairway, but definitely probably wants this one back.
Yeah. Honestly, par doesn't feel too
Nope.
bad on hole 2. It's a tricky shot.
It absolutely is. So hole 3 is probably my favorite par 4 on the course. It is a long 564 feet, tight gap off the tee. You want to throw like a hyzer flip up into this area in here and kind of hopefully avoid some of these trees. And this creek we're crossing now is out of bounds. Typically you throw like a nice, like almost a forehand approach is almost
Right.
a shot. It's very, very tricky on the angles. You gotta give yourself that perfect angle in order to attack this green.
That's right. Eagle is definitely in play on this hole if you navigate the first portion of this fairway.
Like this.
Yeah, this is Wraith for Williams. That's really good.
It is good.
Maybe
but
a
as
little
you can-
short.
And as you can tell, he's going to have some tricky footwork and maybe some tricky angles that he's going to have to hit on this approach. The absolute worst thing you can do on this hole is, and that's not bad.
Kick back to the fairway?
He can save birdie from there.
Yeah, definitely.
You just don't want to kick right on this shot.
TL here for Mason Ford. That's
Not bad.
good secondary kick.
Good secondary.
Once again, you can save birdie from there. And then this is going to be H3 V2 for Cam Colglazier. Kind of like you're talking about that hyzer flip.
Amazing shot.
Yeah, that's
prime.
yes.
You can get a little further down the fairway if you want to get aggressive, but throwing a lot harder on this hole definitely brings the kicks into play.
Yeah, no doubt. Freddie's getting aggressive over the OB Creek.
Oh
my goodness.
Good grief.
I don't think I've ever seen that part of the course before. He just
That was amazing.
pierced through the fairway. That was awesome.
Got Mason here. Oh,
Looked like he was trying to play kind of safe there, maybe play for a skip. So here's kind of that forehand you were
Yep.
talking about. Bradley came up just short of the landing zone, so
he's kind of going.
oh, never mind. He's going with like a pancake. That's really not bad. He's got a
Jumper.
putt
Jumper for birdie.
for eagle.
Or eagle, sorry. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, eagle. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, and there's a lot. Ooh, we'll tree direct for Mason.
It really is.
2 times
Oh,
tree.
man.
Mason, friend of the trees,
Oh, my
is getting
goodness.
all the kicks here on hole 3. He's in a prime spot though.
He absolutely is.
Once again, if you're sitting at home and thinking, man, that's a really awfully short.
Go
par
stand
5.
on this tee.
It is such an intimidating tee shot.
I will say for the NT next year, this hole probably could be played as a par 4.
I think it will. So, not a bad eagle run for Bradley, although obstructed.
Drop in birdie, though.
Yeah, you
all
can't
day.
be mad at that.
All day.
Yeah, four certainly doesn't feel like you're losing one very often here. Mason's going to be in for his 4 there. Couple of fortunate bounces, but man,
Hey.
when you're playing in the woods, you take those all day, every day.
That's right.
Freddie's in as well.
Bradley.
Nice birdie for Bradley, and Cam's making quick work of this hole. Easy eagle.
Easy.
Drop in.
Easy.
Eagle.
Like he was past the basket.
yes.
Hole number 4, 474, and it moves to the right off the tee. For me personally, I throw the forehand here and just try to skip around the corner right into this area, and there's a nice tunnel. It just frames up the basket straight up this hill. This is another tee shot that I'd say the tee shot is the most important on this hole.
Yes.
You've got to give yourself a look in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't, then you really have to look at that tunnel. If you're not looking at the tunnel, then you're having to manufacture a shot that most of the time isn't really there.
And it's a tricky forehand off the tee. You almost feel like you have to saw it off.
Yes, you can't throw it too far.
Or for me, throw it as far as you can.
That's right. For those of us with the power forehand, just crunch it. That's a good spot for Bradley.
That is great.
He's probably going to have maybe a slight turnover up to this basket. See, that looks pretty inside for Fredy, but it's
Decent
not in a
kick.
bad spot.
Yeah.
He might have that one tree right in front of him to contend with. Mason is sponsored by Millennium, so he's throwing Orion LF here.
Okay.
Kind of like a, stable fairway.
Yep.
So
I threw the LF back in the day.
yeah. So Cam, what?
Wow.
All right, so you heard Bradley Williams in the back say, "Yep, nice."
Yep,
And most of the time, like Brad's in his zone. You're not going to hear much from him. So when you hear a compliment on one of your shots from Brad, you just threw a shot.
Yes. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So a little bit early release there for Mason. He's going to kick in the left side, or pardon me, late release, but he's going to kick left.
Just pulled that a little bit right.
And that's trouble for Williams. That's a rough kick.
Ooh.
Fredy with a clean line,
Just on a
skipping
rope.
up there. That's why this tee shot is so important. He has the best look down the tunnel, and he executes.
Scramble.
Nice scramble shot for Williams. Ford's just going to have a jump putt approach here.
There's a lot of this on the front nine out here where you're just trying to bite off as much as you can.
That's
and
right.
Just try to save your birdies, pars. And,
No
oh, my
freaking
goodness.
way.
How?
Are you okay? So the full flex on the putt here.
Wow.
I don't know, 80 feet. You think?
Yeah.
But from absolutely dead on the right side of the fairway. Wow, huge plays from Cam. That's going to time for the
That's
lead.
yeah. And it's not like Mason's playing bad
No,
by any means. I mean, pars are amazing out here.
he's going to drop in for par yet again. Yeah, we're tied up at the top.
Do you want me to throw this in the trunk for you?
Oh, I keep my Ranger bag up front. I use the extra storage up top for my tacos.
On to hole number 5, a.k.a. Eric McCabe's Nemesis hole.
It's a tough one.
It's tough. And I'm not sure if this is to the right or left.
I think it's to the
It's
right.
to the right. It's 306 downhill, and it finishes to the right. And there is a super tight gap off the tee. And 9 times out of 10 times, I hit one of those trees and kick deep into the woods.
Yeah, it's so easy to do. And
It
on
is.
either side.
Yep.
If you miss either side, you are dead here. So I think this is one of the most important tee shots on the course.
Absolutely. And it finishes down to the right, so I like to throw like a flippy putter or a flippy mid-range on the hole instead of a forehand.
Yes. Well, you can tell that was smooth from Cam, but just a little bit early, and it kicked way left.
Yep.
Freddie's got a nice line on this. Punching through.
Wow, that's
You'll take that all day.
every day.
Maybe he doesn't even have a putt. Who cares?
Yep.
Pitch up, take your 3,
Yep.
and move on to the next.
There is a nice drop off right directly behind this basket that makes it a little tricky. I don't believe it's out of bounds.
No, it's
but
not.
It's just
not
tough.
fun. That's a really rough kick for
that's an Eric
Williams.
McCabe kick
Oh,
on this hole.
Being
That's
on the
where
right
I am.
here. Being on the right hurts here. Coyote here for Mason Ford. Once again, a right kick, but a little bit farther up. He's going to have an easier time getting somewhere in play than
Yes.
Bradley is. This is trouble here. Bradley goes forehand up over the trees. That's in the gap that faces the basket, so he's going to probably
get a bogey.
Yeah, he can
Bogey
settle
from
for
there.
bogey here. Aggressive forehand roller here for Ford.
It sounded like a couple trees
Mm-hmm.
rolling down that hill. And this is nothing but a layup.
Right. Colglazier, fortunate to have an open look at this basket. You can be 100% dead on the left side or right side.
Yes.
Williams definitely giving it a
Oh.
look. He's going to be in that little drop off behind, putting back up probably 25 feet.
Smart play from Mason.
Yeah, just
all you can
kind of
do.
laying up there. Freddie's got a little gap here for this putt, probably right around the edge of the circle.
Man, that's that distance where it's just you're too proud to lay up. I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I would have run that putt all day long
Yes.
too, Freddie.
This is Williams for bogey.
Just pulled it a bit right.
Yeah, this is one of those holes that if you get off the fairway just a bit, your score can add up so quickly.
Will add up
Yes.
so quickly.
Oh, and Freddie kind of showing the first sign of weakness so far this round. A little bit low on that putt.
I couldn't tell whether if that rolled back down the hill or not.
I think it stayed up there.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind
Cam
of
trying to do the
struggling on
same.
their
A little
putts
bit.
here.
This hole will do that to you.
Yeah.
It makes you tentative.
So Freddie, after the great drive, had to settle for bogey, and that's the same thing we talked about there. Going for that putt is man, it's not easy.
That's exactly right.
Got Bradley settling for a double. Mason with a bogey. Tough hole.
Definitely.
Hole 6 is 363 feet downhill, up to the right, across the bridge, over the river,
Yeah.
all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
For me, when I play this hole, I'm trying to land right in this area here and then have this nice tunnel up to the right. When I played this, I remember seeing some players throw mash hyzer shots, big turnover shots actually,
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the top of the trees. And I remember looking at it and debating for a while. And I'm like, no, I don't need to lose a disc and have to come back to this
Yeah,
tee.
that's right. Now you can absolutely park this hole if you take that route.
You can.
But it's the effective power to get there is probably 500 or 550.
Yep.
It plays so much farther that way. So that's a great shot for Colglazier. Forehand for Fredy Meza. Here a little clap off the tee
That's
because
good.
that's prime position.
I'll take that all day. Just nice and easy off the tee. It's 363-foot par 4.
Yep.
So it's short, but that tells you the difficulty of the gap you got to hit.
That's
and
right.
the OB comes into play.
Yeah, that's a fortunate tree there for Mason Ford. If he misses that, he's likely in the creek. Bradley going with the MD3.
That looked pure.
Yeah,
That looks so good.
Sure did. Meets the same fate as Mason, but he's looking at the gap with his forehand, and he executed it. Oh, my goodness. What a shot
Wow.
from Williams. I guess they're not playing the creek as
Okay.
OB because that should have been there.
That makes this hole
Oh
a
my
little
goodness.
less intimidating.
Yeah, it really does. What two fantastic approaches from really tough positions for Ford and Williams there. Cam and Freddie in much more traditional positions, we'll say.
So night and day difference between hole 5 and hole 6 from these players.
Yes. Yeah, tough stuff across the board on hole 5.
And arguably the same difficulty.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah, if six maybe plays the smallest amount easier. Okay, so Mason was
OB.
out of bounds.
He
That's
just got
right.
a par, so.
I think 6 plays the smallest amount easier, but still tight shots all the way down.
Yeah. Hole number 7 is a par 4, 420 feet. This hole plays up and way left. This is the hole that you kind of want to throw that stall hyzer off the tee with something flippy. That sounds weird, but it's like a hyzer flip that just kind of flies relatively straight and then dumps down.
Mm-hmm.
And then this basket also sits kind of on the other side of a small ravine. The ravine is not OB,
That's right.
but it just gets in your head.
Yeah, and with that par and birdie, now we've got Cam Colglazier sitting 20 under par. He's in the lead by 2.
Good placement.
That's not a bad spot. He's probably going to have a few trees. Well, he's always going to have a few trees to navigate, but a few extra trees to navigate.
This is the line I like a little bit better. A little higher, a little tighter. Granted, he clipped a tree and kind of kicked down, but
Yeah.
the higher shot, in my opinion, is the better shot on this hole.
And it may have been a little too overstable for what
Yeah.
you're looking for here.
Yeah, like I said, the hyzer flip up high is really
Yeah.
what you need.
Bradley's thrown a butte, caught a tree and kicked down to the left, but he's going to have probably a
Forehand
forced,
turnover?
Yes,
Yeah.
like that forced Anheuser. Same spot.
There's a couple
for Ford.
trees on this hole.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look as bad as some other holes off the tee, but once you're here, it's quite tricky. And this is a common play you'll see is this kind of forehand Anheuser. That's a rough kick for
That
Fredy.
is a rough kick.
It only gets worse on the right. huge.
Bradley throwing something pretty stable up on that aggressive Anheuser line. Looks like he caught something a little early.
And it's crazy that that's really about the only angle to get to this basket. So even if you don't have a forehand, people throw this shot all the time.
Absolutely.
To navigate this corner. Yep.
Is that Fredy down there
Yep.
on the right side of the fairway?
Yeah, after that tough kick.
Just trying
He's
to get
gonna
back
have
in.
a
That's
putt.
a putt.
Yeah. Oh, little roll away, but he's probably right around 40 feet from there. Cam got close enough that he can just kind of scoot a putter up there.
Do.
This
no
hole,
issues.
This hole's easy. I just
Yeah.
drop in my 12-footer. Bradley giving this a little Anheuser approach. Well done.
Yep. Par's never bad out here at Piney Woods.
No,
I mean,
sure
you want to
isn't.
get your birdies, obviously. You have to, but
Oh,
what a putt
nice
from
hit from
Fredy.
Fredy. Big par saver.
man.
This is Mason for birdie.
Just a little low. Probably feeling a little bit of the pressure
Yeah.
from a player like Cameron, who's kind of somewhat of a crafty veteran, I would say.
Yeah.
Just making the course look relatively easy.
Yeah, and a guy who carves up the woods
Yep.
on the regular.
And final round. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just probably feeling a little bit of pressure, but I think he can maybe calm down and get some birdies coming
Sure
up.
hope so. So, 21 under par for Cam. Looking
That
pretty
is
good.
not bad. So we got hole number 8, par 3, 3-3-3, straight downhill and finishes off to the left. This is a tricky basket placement. This is something that you
Yes.
want to throw like your most overstable fast driver on like a hyzer line and get a massive skip. This is the skip shot hole on the course, I would say.
Yes.
And the basket, as you can tell, kind of sits on this little peninsula of a ravine on both sides. The ravine's not OB, but it is a super tricky putt, as you saw on hole 5.
That's right. So Cam's going H1, V2 here. Overstable fairway. Looking for that skip.
Ooh, the
That-
littlest
it
tree.
could be the tree that's no wider than the width of your pinky.
Correct.
Shuts him down. Fredy with
There's
a
a good
great
skip.
line.
That's kind of what you're looking
Wow.
for. That's kind of what you're looking for on this hole.
Really, truly. That's it. It's a tough shot. Bradley's going with Savant here, which is a little bit straighter fairway driver, but still finishing over to the left. The initial gap is a lot tighter than it looks on camera.
It absolutely is.
It's very easy to catch
And
trees
it's- and
right or
it's
left.
Pretty straight downhill.
Yeah, you do have to throw downhill to get where you're trying to go
Yep.
here. If you leave it a little too high, you can catch some trees.
Goodness, that was a great bid from
Yeah.
Mason. That's a tough putt to go for. Even this putt is a tough putt to go for.
Yeah, because the drop off, unlike the one on hole 5, the drop off on this one, it feels like you can go way past the basket
Yes.
from
And
their angle.
deeper, maybe.
Yes. Oh, Bradley.
Brad, what a great run, Bradley.
Good look through the trees, and Fredy with an incredible drive here.
Beauty.
That's a nice pickup. It's going to bring him into a tie for second with Mason Ford. Everybody else is just going to tap in for par. I feel like that's kind of common scores here.
Yeah.
One birdie, maybe a bogey, but lots of threes from the pro
Lots of
field.
threes on this hole. Hole number 9 is 351 foot, pretty much dead straight for the most part. There is a tree right off the left of the tee that you gotta kind of have to avoid. It's kind of the last thing you see as you're throwing, so a lot of people will just mash that tree. And this is, in my opinion, a long 351. So I like to throw a mid at it, but I really gotta power the mid,
Yes.
or tone back on a fairway.
Yeah, definitely.
You got Fredy throwing what looks like an amazing line.
Yeah, and that's a buzz from Fredy.
Yeah, there
and
you go.
that's-
And he put a lot of pop on that.
Yes, definitely.
We got Cameron.
M4 for Cam. A little bit more turn than he'd like, but that's hanging
hey.
on the right.
I'll take it.
Yes, all day.
Got Bradley here.
Bradley's taking Mako here, and
Mid.
Bradley throws the Mako probably better than anyone else I've seen.
Yeah, I
just
would-
controls
100%.
the angle so
100%.
well.
And then we got Mason.
And this will be Coyote for him.
Coyote. So all 4 mids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and straight to relatively understable. That's what you expect to see here.
It's kind of it's dead straight hole, but it does kind of move slightly left to right. The fairway does, if that makes sense.
That's right. It's kind of a long bid layup there for Ford.
And after playing some of these really challenging par 4s, this is a hole that you really want to get.
Yes.
Moving into the back 9, this is the hole that, man, you really want to get the birdie on.
Cam is out to a 4-shot lead now over Ford and Meza as he taps in for birdie. Make it 3 as Meza taps in. Mason taking his time, even on these tap-ins. If you're new to disc golf, you're new to tournament play, make sure and do that.
Yes.
The worst thing in the world is missing a little 12-footer.
And we've all done it.
Yes, definitely. Bradley's in as well, and that's going to conclude the front 9 here for us at Piney Woods. Cam Colglazier off to a fantastic start.
Fantastic.
We hope you guys will catch us on the back 9, and to do so, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you know when the back 9 is released, as well as our other videos. Ring that bell so that you can be notified of it. We will talk to you soon.
Bye.